Good afternoon, folks. Evening, morning, whatever it may be when you watch this. Mechanic Dave here. Today I'm working on let me confirm the year. I always get this wrong. It's a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited Edition with the 4.7 liter V8. Today I had to change out the water pump. Now, I know that if you guys had the same fear as I have whenever you approach this job, is you see this hydraulically driven fan, and then you see that the pump is very close proximity to it, and you're thinking, well, I'm in for a world of hurt. Well, let me rest you assure that the pump will come out without having to pull the radiator fan or the radiator or any of that other crap. So first things first, go ahead and disconnect your power, your negative battery terminal. Then I would go ahead and remove the alternator. Now you can leave the electrical connected, but just undo the 13 millimeter bolt there, the 15 millimeter bolt there, and then the 15 millimeter bolt right there. So move the alternator up over to the side here. Next, go ahead and take I should have told you to take your belt off first. Via this tensioner right here, it's just a 15. Put a 15 on, and I think you crank it towards the battery if my memory serves me right. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, vice versa. It's going to go towards the driver's side when you do it. So pull over, remove it. I'm not going to remove it. I've already done the job. But go ahead and remove the belt. Then go ahead and remove this idler pulley right below it. It's a 15 mil bolt. Because of the close proximity of the fan assembly and that pulley, just go ahead and use a 15 ratcheting wrench. Get that down in there, remove the pulley. Once you pull the pulley out, set it aside. I like to have a nice magnetic surface, not only to lay my bolts down on, but now that we're going to move on to the pump, and let me get this old pump here so you can... it's going to go like so. So what I like to do is when I pull my bolts out, and you're not going to have another pump to sit, I mean, you could probably put the new pump there. And then what you do is just make sure, I went ahead and removed this top stud here, and that's going to allow for some extra clearance to get the pump by as well. And you just set that off to the side. No, I take that back. I did not remove that one. What you ought to do is just put all your bolts in order as you take them out, because there's going to be 2 or 3 of them that are longer than all the others, and obviously you'll find that out when you go to put them in. But set all those aside. So once your pump is unbolted, there's a total of 8 bolts. Then the pump should come out around this area. Boom. I just used some 3M brake clean to clean the mating surfaces of where the new pump's going to go. From the factory, it comes with a seal, but you want to just push around the edges and make sure it's fully seated all the way around before you put it in, because they just throw them in there in a hurry at the factory. And I like to put a little bit of silicone grease around the leading edge as well. And just make sure when you put it in, make sure you don't bump any surfaces, because the gasket could fall out. Once the pump's in, it's just 8 bolts. Put them back in. I like to tighten everything in a cross pattern. Tighten it up loosely, and then finally torque it to, I think it was like 8 foot-pounds. Don't quote me on that, please. Just look it up. Look up the torque specs. After the pump's in, put the belt on. I didn't even have to drain the radiator, so my radiator pretty much stayed full. What was in the top part of the block went down. And let's see. Let me finish putting some coolant in here so we can get an exact measurement. Obviously, I'm going to run this and let it run and see where we go. I think the way I did it without having to drain the radiator, I'm going to end up using less than a gallon. A whole lot did not come out. A lot of the symptoms for this is leaks from the top weep hole, from that little weep hole that sits right at the 12 o'clock position. You'll get abnormal noises, some grinding noises. This bearing's in pretty good shape. The customer just wanted me to change it out. He said that it was leaking in the drive. Could have been a number of things, but I looked it over and it was coming from this lower seal, and we figured, well, might as well just throw a new pump in. We've already got a new radiator, heater core, and thermostat in this job, so for those reasons, I tried to insist we did the pump when I had the radiator and everything out, but that's the way life goes. You change one thing and then something in the system fails later. So, well, there's not too much to it, folks. Make sure you bolt your alternator back up, put your belt on, connect your battery power, and fill up your coolant system, burp all the air out, and just proceed from there. Keep in mind, it's super important with these 4.7s that you do burp the air out via this little Allen port here. And it even says coolant bleed. Otherwise, it'll idle fine, and the temp will be fine, but once they get on the freeway or something, that's when things start to act super erratic. So, and it doesn't take very long. You just crack that open while it's running. Wear some safety glasses so you don't burn your eyes, but you just want to barely crack it, and you want to get the steam out until you get a consistent flow of coolant, and at which point you just close it. You can go ahead and cheat also, and you can, I like to undo the upper radiator hose, hold this in an up position. Yeah, my glove broke. But anyway, hold the hose in the up position, fill this part of the manifold up with coolant, then put it on, then service your radiator, and you should be good to go. Pretty easy job. I got this done in probably about 25 minutes-ish. So do go ahead and put a drain pan directly underneath where your pump is, so catch whatever fluid. If it's a good clean pan, you could just pour it right back into the radiator. So, all right, folks, you guys have a great day. God bless and take care.